Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching a preseason match of Community Clash. Tonight with us we have, first off, Mr. White Dragon from TRAF. How you doing, sir?
Hey,
EXE.
Work from EXE. Yes.
How you doing tonight, sir?
Pretty good.
So
Yourself?
tell us the short and sweet about EXE, what EXE stands for, and how you're going to smash TRAF tonight.
Yeah, so we're a Connery TR outfit. We're pretty big. We're one of the largest, most active outfits in the game. We are kind of a Zerg outfit, but we could definitely field a good squad. So pretty organized. I think we'll do well.
All right, Maggie, it's all yours.
All right, and with me is the actual representative for TRAF, the Terran Republic Assault Force for Waterson. This is Jack. So, Jack, tell us, what is TRAF all about, and how are you going to dominate this round, repping the Vanu sovereignty?
Yeah, well, we're not exactly in our element here, but we are back on our home turf. We're a Jaeger native, formed by a guy named Weatherford. Way back when the game launched, we use, or plan on using, our comms. We require TeamSpeak for all members, so we plan on using organization and comms to really drive it home today and bring a win for Jaeger.
Fantastic.
Nice. All right, gentlemen, get in your vehicles. Let's go. Let's go kill each other. Come on. All right,
Yes,
Maggie and I are going
luck.
to go check out our teams. We'll say we're ready, and we'll kick this off, guys. And for us tonight, casting.
Maggie, did you want to ride?
I think she could ride. I think she has
I think
her
I
own
have
ride.
this thing called Dev Hacks.
Oh, shit. Oh, man, I forgot
All
all
right,
about
so tonight with us we have for our casters Mr. Derringer. Are you there?
Yes, I am, sir.
And do we have Mr. Solaris? Are you there, sir?
Hey, how's it going?
There we go. Okay. It was good talking to you guys. Are you guys ready to cast your
Oh my gosh.
respective teams?
Can we please get an observer cam over here on the TRAF guys? They look awesome.
It's already here.
Sweet.
I am going in to check out my EXE brethren to make sure they're set. They are inside the spawn room. They are ready to go.
I hope the all the viewers didn't just lose their lunches as I flew across the map, because it was pretty scary.
Oh my goodness, they are lined up. Is this like a conga line?
Not only are they lined up, they're lined up in numerical order.
Oh my
And
goodness.
squad order, like
And
the
squad
colors.
order.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That is hardcore.
If I can just chime in before I leave, TRAF is all about showmanship, and whether that affects our play or not, you guys can be the judge.
All right, well, we're going to drop you guys down to the play channel, and we're going to let our casters take over for Maggie and I here shortly. It was good talking to you guys. We'll see you after the show.
And we are off.
Looks like EXE is splitting up and going to each side of the biolab, trying to make use of both air pads.
TRAF is doing the same thing. Apparently they did not learn from last week when people took the took the jump pad directly up to the air pads. But it does look like a lot of them are bringing out vehicles right now. So I'm surprised we didn't see a bigger air push out of TRAF. So
Yeah, we're getting pretty much everybody's pulling Mosquito right now, looks like, out of EXE.
that
Moving
is
straight
a
off into the
hallmark.
battle.
That is a hallmark of EXE, so I'm not surprised. TRAF's actually pulling all harassers right now.
EXE is already dropping on the point here at Geological Survey. They're flipping
Are
it right
they-
now.
I'm going to follow this harasser push out. I'm actually a little surprised that they pulled harassers because, as you already said, Solaris, the EXE was able to get to the point and drop on it already, and that certainly is a way to get your points on the board first before anybody else does. So
They've now pulled asunder after hacking the terminal here. They've got about half a squad near the point itself in a building. The point's flipping back though. Looks like one of the guys got by.
hopefully TRAF didn't make a misstep by doing that. But if you said one of them's already on the point, flipping it back over, maybe it
There's a
wasn't.
few now actually.
Maybe it wasn't a complete misstep by them. Yeah, actually those harassers are pushing directly through onto the next point while they leave their people here to deal with geological survey.
The point is flipping back actually now. EXE's got a good number of people on the point. The rest, They're coming up now in armor, actually, down the road. Got about 6 tanks. Including Sunders.
There is a little battle here on the A point at Geological Survey, but as you said, EXE seem to have taken the point completely. They have a Sunder rolling around, as well as a number of people on the point, and there are very few TRAF members pushing into it. They're coming out of the spawn room now en masse, but EXE definitely has a stranglehold on this A point right now.
Looks like they're doing a good job holding it down, that's for sure. They have control of the outside as well due to all the vehicles they have there. The skies are pretty empty though, so they might be able to push that out if they pull some more vehicles.
I do have a good push by TRAF now to the A point of Geological Survey, and they are flipping it back into their favor. They've absolutely swarmed this point.
Yeah, they've been pretty much pushed off, actually. They're going to have to spawn back at the Sunder they have here. It's relatively close. It shouldn't be too far.
That is one point, that they do have a Sunderer there, and it doesn't look like TRAF has found that Sunderer yet.
One lone max at the moment. Looks like they're reorganizing.
We're losing this. Focus out there.
They've got a
Yeah.
second Sunder on the north side. They might be trying to push out of there as well, but it's not actually set up yet, so...
I do see a few EXE Lightnings moving around now, trying to get to a vantage point to make an attack, but yeah, we do have... The facility is defended. And I wonder if people saw that WDS
Manu's sovereignty has
point
taken the
capture
facility.
pop-up that just went in. We'll have to ask
Frostfall is flipping right now. TRAF must have some people on the point already, waiting for this to resecure.
It must have been those harassers that made their way through, if I had to guess.
Taking the point, I'm not sure where they went. The point itself is empty. EXE is going to have to respawn here, and they are right now. They're inside of the spawn room here. Looks like they're just gathering up, actually, though, waiting to push back out.
I'm still here
Oh.
at Geological Survey, and TRAF has this completely under their control. I do not see any EXE anywhere within this base at this point.
All of Alpha Squad is here on foot, pushing to the point right now. I'm not even sure if there's a decent TRAF presence here.
No, I can tell you just about all of them are here. They're starting to pull Sunderers, and they're going to make their way up the road from Geological Survey now.
So I'm guessing happened is they sent a guy up here to try and buy themselves some time to regroup. And it seems to have done the trick, because all of Alpha took quite a long time to get outside that spawn room to push forward and find that there is no VS here.
I will say, TRAF seems to be moving rather slowly, which kind of surprises me. I expect, with the last community clash that we had last week, it seemed like the pushes out by air and armor was extremely fast, while TRAF right now is very slow and taking their time loading into their Sunderers here.
All of Alpha Squad for EXE has moved outside. Looked like they were going to load in Sunders, but they kind of just stopped. And Bravo is now pushing back up to Geological Survey. It looks like Alpha's going to pull their own Sunder and move out individually.
Well, I can tell you that TRAF doesn't seem to even be leaving Geological Survey. I think they got confused and started heading the wrong direction. And they're still having some trouble getting their people into their Sunderers here, and I do see EXE up the road is actually starting to pepper them with fire.
They've got 4 Lightnings now up on the ridge itself. They've got Sunder providing some cover as well. Looks like they're all probably waiting.
I do think TRAF probably missed a pretty good opportunity to make a push to the next point by starting to go in the wrong direction. They do seem to be laying some heavy rocket fire on those EXE Lightnings, though.
2 Sunnies out now for EXE, while Alpha Squad seems to be reorganizing themselves. These Lightnings are just holding the ridge, though, making sure they're not pushing forward.
And TRAF isn't pushing forward, which again, I'm a little dumbfounded by that.
A little bit of play on the edges here, but really conservative for the most part.
Yeah, it's still, like I said, TRAF is kind of not pushing out, and EXE is kind of not pushing in. It's almost as if we have a stalemate here just outside Geological Survey Camp.
A little bit of an air battle going on above Frostfall. There's only two, I believe, two ESFs in the air. Not too consistent. There's a Galaxy, though, moving out. Looks like it's TRAF, actually, come back. Did they do a point drop?
I do have an EXE Sunderer that is to the southeast of Geological Survey Camp right now. TRAF has spotted it, and they're sending some of their troops to deal with it and have succeeded in chasing it off.
TRAF might have some big plans for that Galaxy. We've got Alpha Squad out now, moving onto Geological Survey. They're taking a hill just above it, or just south of the map.
TRAF is at the bottom of that hill, pushing their way up it as well.
It's like a calculated decision being made right now on both sides.
It's as if each side is trying to probe the other to find weaknesses, but I will say EXE seems to be the one that's making the bigger push rather than TRAF. I actually don't see much of Alpha Squad for TRAF right now, which makes me wonder if they've all recalled back to their main position to make a push. And actually, I do see that TRAF Galaxy that you were mentioning. I do believe that it is now landing at Frostfall Overlook.
Well, that would be a good time for a big move if they were to do that. They have very few people back here at Frostfall. Indeed, looks like they did just do a drop. Point is flipping. Some of Bravo Squad EXE is responding. It's going to take them a little bit of time to get back here.
Yeah, I do see the EXE Sunder that was moving in is now actually retreating back to Frostfall. I'm making my way to Frostfall as well.
All of Alpha Squad seems to have redeployed as well, EXE.
There's a number of EXE on the road back here that are now having to make their way back to Frostfall, but it does look like Frostfall is now the battle zone for this current battle of Community Clash.
The space is a little bit strange. I've had the misfortune of fighting on it just last week. It's a really limited Sunder placement. It's actually really defensible.
We're also seeing some of our expected Galaxy play, where that Bravo TRAF Galaxy is unleashing troops onto the battlefield as they get knocked out. I saw one very well-placed drop right outside the A point.
All of Alpha Squad EXE is gathering up for a push in the spawn room itself.
Meanwhile, TRAF has themselves locked in that room pretty well. Let's see if they are able to position themselves for some good angles.
Looks like they're
Actually,
transitioning.
All of Bravo just left the building with the A point, and they've moved into that.
Oh, they're pushing out right now.
building.
EXE is making a push. There's some fire coming from the top of this building. They're moving through the side. A few of them are getting cut down. Looks like most of them are making it though. They're pushing that point really well.
And as I said, TRAF is all over that double stack building on the roof, and they're laying some withering fire down on those TR folks that are making runs toward it. We've got
TR
our
is
smoke screen
resecuring the
down.
point.
I will say that TRAF probably left too few people on that point to reinforce that double stack building.
EXE pushed almost their entire platoon in there, and with a fair number of maxes as well. They weren't playing around. They're going to leave no room for error. In fact, a look at the map reveals that there's very few other people around. Oh, another Galaxy drop though.
Yeah, TRAF just brought in an Alpha Galaxy and did a good drop.
All of EXE is standing inside this one small point here. That's not a very good tactic when in such a confined space.
Yeah, but those max suits putting a withering fire as the TRAF folks try to make it through that door. In fact, looking in this room, all of TRAF is down.
And without a Sunder, they're going to end up having to go back to Geological Survey.
They're actually
another
moving
Galvatop.
2 Sunderers in as we speak. They're coming in on the northern side of the base right now. It doesn't look like EXE has spotted them at this point, so I imagine everybody's going to be respawning shortly, and that's exactly what's happening. They're starting to respawn at one of these Sunderers. And like I said, there's a second Sunderer just waiting in the wings in case the first one does go down. But TRAF is setting itself up to make a push. I see a few Maxes coming out as well with support, so get ready for game on here at Frostfall.
Small exchange of fire at the front door here, if you will.
Yeah, they seem to just be exchanging fire between the two.
Oh, but they're hacking back this AV turret here. If that can turn far enough around, they should be able to take out that Sunder relatively easily.
Yeah. But again, they did take out one of the Sunderers, so there still is just this one back here, but TRAF is making a very large push on the ground here.
That AV turret went down really quickly, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of max suits. Well, I count at least 5 or 6 max suits with good support here as well. They also have some good air support. There's a Scythe, at least 1 or 2, 3 Scythes fighting a Mosquito in the air right now, but they're also able to provide some support. And the majority of Bravo squad for TRAF is just outside the A point right now.
So they've done a really good job actually pushing forward, taking out TR. Again, a measured response here.
I can say the TRAF medics are doing an excellent job as well, keeping their people up.
They're just whittling away at these maxes inside as well. Still 4 up on the point, along with about 4 support.
Yeah, TRAF's about to make a push. They've got Alpha going in one side, Bravo going in the other. They are going to try and pincer the Maxes, and that's exactly what happened. We've got a big crash on the point right now.
A little bit of fire coming on their Sunder. They're able to get up on the rocks here and fire down, but TRAF is still doing a good job covering it. It looks like they got a couple people that are maybe on defense roll for it.
And TRAF has the A point right now. EXE is doing a push back into it, but TRAF did flip A.
Ooh, lots of EXE dead right outside of that room.
It's like the dance of the Maxes in here. Yeah, TRAF has this room locked down right now. Let's see if EXE can mount another push.
They look pretty hesitant. They've got a couple people that have kind of flooded out, but most of them are staying inside. They're being pretty disciplined, actually.
Yeah, someone in the chat room was asking about double HE Prowler spam, and I want to point out that we do have this set up so that ISA Tech Plant is neutral, which means no MBTs can be spawned on this map unless you pull them actually from the warp gate.
Oh. Looks like we've got an engineer trying to put some mines down. Oh, I didn't take that Sunday out all the way.
There's so much smoke on the map right now. If I ever put together a document on what I need in an observer cam, it's an ability to see through smoke.
IR sites. Left click.
Yes, except it doesn't work in an observer cam. Well, let's say TRAF definitely has that point locked down. About 2.5 minutes left in this cap. EXE does look like they're trying to mount up in the... They have a number of max suits getting ready in their spawn room. It looks like they're just waiting for some support. So let's see if TRAF makes the same mistake and reinforces that double stack building again, or if they continue to keep everybody on the A point.
Got a handful of lightnings pushing up. Looks like they're trying to take out that Sunder.
Yeah,
actually, it's already gone.
Yeah, they were already able to take it out, but let's see if they're able to put themselves into a position to help attack this A point. If I was EXE at this point, what I would do is I would roll those lightnings right up to the next point. Because once they're able to, if EXE is able to flip this point, they want somebody in there to stop TRAF from doing it again.
You want to get that really fast transition to try and get the heat off of your base as quickly as possible.
Alright, they're coming in through the northern door right now. Not as many TRAF as EXE as their first push. So, let's see how this plays out.
They've got all of their Alpha Squad and tanks around the outside. Only Bravo is actually pushing the point.
And Bravo's not doing well. because it seemed to be mostly mech suits, and I did not see a lot of engineers or medics.
It looks like TRAF's doing a good job holding that point.
Yeah, they have it locked down. I think it was smart for EXE to roll those lightnings, but I don't see that they've gotten a good angle on the doorways right now to try and put fire into it. In fact, it looks like they've abandoned their lightnings and are all out on foot right now.
Looks like they've overcommitted actually to armor, like you're saying. Not gonna be able to take that point out with so few people.
It's one thing if, well, like I said, it's one thing if they can actually get those lightnings in position to try to get some firing into those doorways.
Trying to do that right now, looks like.
Yeah, I do see some.
They are on the point and it is flipping. Last moment save. Nothing but Maxes left alive, actually.
That's very. Let's give EXE some props there, because they did take out all the soft targets first and left the maxes up, because obviously a max cannot capture a point. It's clear. All of TRAF is down.
Unfortunately, they have to wait 3 minutes and 30 seconds before they can actually try and flip the next point. So they have to be on the defensive for a little bit.
That is correct. I see a few sights in the air, but it makes me wonder if we're going to see another Sunderer push or if we're going to see another Galaxy drop by TRAF. Good clear by EXE, though. Good clear.
Also a good time to remind people that there are no spawn beacons in these matches. Not yet, anyhow. And that really changes the game in a lot of ways. That in the way it feels and the speed of it.
TRAF was able to pull up a single Sunderer, but it was swarmed immediately by all these lightnings, and a lot of heavies as well.
The point's flipping, actually.
It is flipping, actually. You're absolutely right.
I'm guessing maybe a lone infiltrator? Oh, he came and went.
Yeah, it's gone squarely back in the hands of EXE. You're probably right. An infiltrator probably was able to sneak out of the room and make its way back in.
Maybe that same one that flipped it at the very beginning.
Perhaps.
EXE's got a lot of lightnings rolling out right now. 6 off 7, actually, moving up north.
I'm actually going to follow them down the road as well, because I see TRAF has a bunch of harassers out again at Geological Survey. Looks like they're going to make another harasser push.
That's something you don't see too much these days.
And the lightnings are fighting the harassers right now here at Geological Survey. That's what I like, a good armor battle.
Looks like they're pretty well dispersed.
Yeah, the lightnings are being beaten up a little.
Lost a couple, but not for the most part. Oh, what's up? What's up?
And there seems to be a little bit of a battle here on the road as these 3 Sunderers make their way down. They've met up with the 5 or so lightnings that are left here, but they're also being shot at by some heavies on the hill as well. 1 Sunderer is down, 1 Sunderer is pushing, and 1 Sunderer is fleeing. And I do see the harassers are actually moving to take out some of those infantry that were on the hill.
Battle Galaxies can be a really good strategy, but with only 3 against all those lightnings, they cut down relatively quickly.
They did get cut down quite quickly. We do still have a number of those Sunderers up, though. I wonder if there's enough time for a Sunder to push through and try and capture that base.
Got 10 seconds until the base back here is entirely secured. A large part
Yeah.
of Bravo has stayed back here and make sure it stayed that way as well.
That's a good move on EXE's part. They want to make sure that they fully complete that recap to make sure TRAF has to start over from scratch. And still a little harasser play in the mountains here, which I'm hoping in either the halftime or at the end, Torx and Maggie talk to TRAF about harassers, because after the harasser nerf, I don't think we see as many harassers in the game anymore, and these guys are using a number of them, actually.
It was an interesting choice. It might be because they didn't want to go all the way back to their previous base where they could actually pull lightnings, because you can't pull tanks, unfortunately, from Geological Survey.
Right. But again, they did start the match with a few Sunders, a few harassers as well, which was an interesting choice.
Trying hard to get this Sunder down with all these lightnings or harassers.
Yeah, and there's only one harasser left, and only a few people on the ground. It's mostly EXE out here now. No, I'm sorry, 2 harassers are still up. This Comclash 45 here, he's just desperately trying to get some road kills with it. I can see. He keeps trying to spin that just the right way to run over some of these EXE people that are out there on foot. EXE has actually started moving that Sunderer out, and they're going to make a push to Geological Survey right now.
Bravo's still hanging back at Frostfall. So I guess you're going to try and flip the point for me, moving them up?
TRAF has a lot of the same strategy here. They've actually left their Alpha Squad back here, and they're starting to deal with this Sunderer right now. I'm seeing some Lancer fire at it, as well as some classical S1 fire at it as well. I do not believe the Sunderer is going to last very long. They've got a number of people hitting it, but it's smoking, but there is repair going on it as well.
Sunder placement is so key on these bases. It's really hard to defend them.
In addition to that, they've lodged that Sunder in there, so I don't believe that they can get it out again if they wanted to. TRAF is actually just swarming it from all sides now. They've brought their own Sunderer in.
Some ESF cover as well. I don't think that Sunder is going to be around for very long now. It's pretty well camped.
Yeah, it's camped hard. But that being said, the 8-point is being flipped while TRAF is focusing all their efforts on that Sunderer, except for a lone infantryman right now who's making a push towards Alpha.
That Sunder is down.
The Sunder is down, but I do see that EXE hacked the vehicle terminal here.
They're pulling Sundies out.
Gotta get that spawn point somehow.
That's slick. That's slick.
And TRAF did cap that point back again.
They drove all the way around to the very north side, so relatively close to their spawn room. Oh, they're pulling back now.
Yeah, I do. I'm focusing in on that one right now myself as well.
It's the EXE Galaxy overhead. It's already on fire. Oh,
It's already gone.
and they dropped.
I switched to look up and it was in pieces.
They didn't quite make it on the target, but they did make a drop on the base. Moving on to the point now.
And this Sunder is set up well. I don't know that TRAF has seen it yet. No, I take that back. One of their harassers is pushing on it right now.
Now that EXE has pretty much committed themselves to this point, they have to flip it, and they are now. Most of their guys are dead inside the base itself, but they got a lot respawning at that Sunder to the north.
And TRAF is not doing too well. TRAF is making a push. They know the Sunder is here, but there's some action going on at that A point. EXE is loading it up with heavy assaults right now. At this point, since it's under EXE control, TRAF cannot do anything at Frostfall. They need to commit their resources here to take this point back. They do have plenty of time, though. They're making a decent push on it. And there's definitely some action at the Sunder, which they have now C4'd and taken out. So
EXE allowed themselves to be stretched out and drawn away from the point a little bit too much, and they got flanked actually around the side by
I was surprised that they only pulled one Sunderer. They should have gotten... I understand it was only a lone infiltrator that hacked the terminal, but I believe if they had had more than one person hacking that and then pulling out Sunderers, I think they could have placed them a little bit better around geological survey here and been able to make pushes from multiple angles and try to confuse TRAF. But as it is, we have 10 seconds left on the cap here, and TRAF is going to hold geological survey. And I do not see any EXE members at all here.
So we'll see how they try and make a recovery on that. The next step here might be pivotal. If you can have any attempt to cap that base anytime soon.
TRAF is loading into their Sunderers right now. They've got a pair of them sitting out front of the terminal here. And they're actually sending one of their harassers up to do a little scouting. No, I take that back. He's coming right back.
This is interesting. EXE's pulled a Sunder and parked it actually far to the south. Maybe preparing to see some defense.
Well, right now I have 4 TRAF Sunderers are out. 5 TRAF Sunderers are now out here. I'm sorry, 6 TRAF Sunderers are out here now. They are going to overload them with Sunderers, assumedly in the hope to get at least 1 or 2 of them in an advantageous position.
EXE's committing to defense. They're up on the ramparts, if you will. They're looking down to the road. They aren't seeing anything yet.
Yeah, this is a rather interesting strategy. Again, when we saw our 2 forces fighting last week, it was a lot of hectic pushes and fast pushes. I've noticed that TRAF and EXE are a little bit more slow and kind of deliberate in the actions that they take before pushing on a point.
A few mines have gone out, but
that's good
for the most
because
part? Go ahead.
6 Sunders are on their way.
Oh,
They did send the 1 harasser up, but here come all 6 of those Sunders up the road right now. The harasser is actually waiting for them. I
well,
do
we have a
see some...
single mosquito up in the air, so they must have seen these. They're probably telling them right now exactly what's coming toward them.
There's no way he could have missed them. There's so many Sunders on the road that they're actually crashing into each other.
And here come the AV turrets. Oh, they're ready.
They're definitely ready. But TRAF has only 3 of their Sunders on the road. The other 3 went up into the hills, where I can see that they're taking on some fire, but they're peppering that AV turret quickly.
Well, there goes the first one. I guess this other one's gonna come down pretty quickly as well.
He hid behind the rock, but he's still going to get taken out by multiple positions. I'm following 3 of the other Sunderers who are actually making a circuitous route around the eastern side of the base here, and they're actually going to park themselves at the north. Well, they're right here on the western side of the base. They're in. They actually have people pushing on the A point right now, and all their Sunderers are set up in a staggered position, and the A point is actually flipping right now. I don't know that EXE realizes that the A point is flipping.
I'm not sure if that was a little bit of misdirection by their from them, but it actually worked.
Easy to do when you have 6 Sunderers. Yeah,
Something
TRAF
was going to get through.
TRAF is on this point.
Got some mines actually underneath that Sunder. Oh, this is not the one that's deployed actually. Where's the deployed one?
Look up in the hills.
Ah,
They've got 2 of them actually up in the hills.
and both are repair sundies.
I'm
They've
sitting
got
at the
point flipped. Gotta see response now from EXE.
EXE does have 1 light assault trooper on the tower that I'm focusing on right now. I'm sure he's calling out where every position is. He's dropping C4 in the doorway. This should be good. Let's see if he gets anybody. Here it comes. No, he didn't let it go. He's patient. Yeah, TRAF has that point locked down.
They've got about 12 people. I'm guessing this is one of their particular squads.
When I look in, it is it's actually a mix of Alpha and Bravo squad.
Quite a few maxes in there too. It's going to take a serious push for them to push those back out.
Well, EXE has done it before, so I can see them starting to get ready in the spawn room.
Yeah, they've got all of their Bravo squad. They've got the 1 max right now.
I do see a battle galaxy up in the air for EXE as well.
I would almost guarantee that that's full of Alpha squad. It's got 6 out of 12 right now.
They're going to have to come back in and support this position now that the A point's been capped. We're almost under the 2-minute point for the cap here. Well, the other thing that the Galaxy can do, they can man all the guns. They actually just dropped over in the hills and are assaulting the 2 Sunderers. 1 is down, and they're looking to take out the other one already. Excellent play by EXE. Using that Galaxy as a scout to find where the Sunderers of TRAF were. And now I see the EXE push is actually going around the back of the double-stack building, hoping that TRAF did not see them. So I expect some good action on the southern side that you're looking at, Solaris.
TRAF knows it though. They are moving around to their southern door. They're looking for it.
Actually, they're on the top of the double-stack building. They're jumping off the side. Here they come. EXE is making their push.
A little bit of mosquito sport there.
I've centered myself in the room, and oh, it's just explosion after explosion. TRAF is dropping like flies.
They're pushing in a little bit from the outside. Both doors.
A point is starting to flip. Once again, EXE does an excellent job taking out all the soft targets before focusing on the max units.
Just a matter of time once those engineers go down.
That's exactly true. Same thing with the medics. The medics aren't able to throw their revive grenades. They've got 4 max suits up right now, but they have no support. EXE can just finish them off at their leisure. Actually, I say that, and the A point is actually flipping back in TRAF's favor. There's actually a lone engineer hiding in the back corner. Well, this should end quickly. A revive grenade just went off. Points flipping back to EXE's favor. Here they come again.
Oh, that engineer went down.
Yes, he did.
Got 6 of 12 again in the Galaxy EXE. I'm not sure exactly what they're going at for that though. They have to wait more than 2 minutes in order for them to do anything at the next base.
If I had to take a guess, they're probably Sunderer hunting again. And I do see TRAF is pulling in a Bravo Sunderer right now, and that Galaxy is zoning in on it already. My bet is they're going to actually drop people on it and C4 it once again.
They also have a Sunder up to the northwest, actually. But there's already some ESFs on that. It's going to be going down relatively quickly. Yeah,
TRAF
there it goes.
unloaded people from that Sunder, took back the A point, but there are a number of EXE surrounding the point here. I don't know how long TRAF's going to last on that point. I will
They're doing
give-
the same strategy again with an engineer in the corner and a max basically standing right in front of him.
and the engineer's down.
But you know, every time you do something like that, you are taking a little bit more time after that.
That is
more time
correct.
to regroup, and as long as the point is not moving in their favor, it's moving in your favor.
I'm not sure the time left on the match itself, but if I had to guess, we're probably going to look at a draw on this one. These teams are very evenly matched.
You have 7 minutes and 30 seconds left on the match.
I have a
Hoping to see
pair.
a little bit more in the air game, actually.
Again, as we talked about before the match, we know EXE is very good in the air. I'm surprised that they have not pulled more mosquitoes.
A lone Sunder over to the far west, but the Galaxy's already found it.
There are actually 2 of them. Galaxy just unloaded its payload on one of them. It's about to be C4'd. And it's down. That is one of the newest tactics that I have also experienced in the game. Galaxies full of light assaults that immediately jump out and C4 targets.
That Sunder actually made that Galaxy run off to go repair. So it's still making its way around on the south side.
It must be taking a long route.
Yeah, very long.
Oh, I see it now.
Bravo Squad, EXE's already responding to it though. You got 3 guys running toward it at this very moment. More than that now.
It looks like that's the majority of Alpha Squad for TRAF, which makes me wonder what Bravo is actually doing at this point. No, I'm sorry, Bravo just dropped out of it as well.
We haven't seen much Galaxy work yet out of the VS this time around.
No, you're absolutely right. I expected some more Galaxy drops from TRAF. There's that Battle Galaxy back again for EXE. It's going to drop its payload. You can see already on that. There they go.
And there
that
it is.
Sunder is down. TRAF is making it onto that A point, though. They are swarming it with infantry right now.
Yeah, they're going to be right back in there in no time.
Yeah, they are already on the point. They're
EXE is
flipping
not
A in their
fair.
favor. It looks like the same composition as last time, heavy on the max suits.
EXE streamed in a few guys, but that's not going to be good enough to try and take that point back. They're going to have to regroup and try again.
That Battle Galaxy is still floating around. I expect another concerted push by EXE out of that spawn room. I see them trickling out in
They're
2s and
coming up from the
3s.
south right now, but we have to wait for a few more people to get a good push.
That Galaxy's landed on the roof of the double stack building.
They're just tossing C4 through those doors, hoping to take out a max.
It's a valid tactic. Majority of TRAF is down at this point. I do see res grenades going off left and right. But
Pushing in through the south. Gonna pretty much empty out. Alright, EXE takes the point back once again.
yes. Every time I see a res grenade go off, I expect it to be a TRAF res grenade, but instead it's always the EXE res grenades.
One last Hail Mary.
Yeah. It always surprises me when all the EXE members pop up and not the TRAF members. Just points out that EXE is very good at targeting. At least in this battle, they seem to be very adept at targeting medics quickly.
EXE's got their Galaxy lifting off once again. They've got only a minute this time left until they can move on to the next base.
I'm going to
3
make my
minutes,
way
30 seconds left.
back.
Ooh.
I have another Sunderer for TRAF coming in, flanked by 3 harassers. They're taking pot shots at that Galaxy. And the 2 cannons at the base are taking shots at the Sunderer. Here comes that Galaxy lining itself up with that Sunderer. That Sunderer is making its way around the southern side of the base, though. But again, if I had to guess, that Galaxy's going to focus right in on it and unleash a few light assaults onto it.
Do you think that they might have heard the reputation for EXE's air and decided that using Galaxies just wasn't worth the effort?
It's a possibility, but I still am. I'm surprised that there's not more air on both sides. I mean, we did see a few Scythes and a few Mosquitoes to begin with, but other than that, this Galaxy is the only thing that's been in the air for at least the past 5 or so minutes.
I don't understand why we're not seeing a max altitude gal. That's all I want to see.
Yeah.
From
Well, we've
TRAF,
got-
you mean?
Either team, I don't care. I just want to see max altitude gal dropping people.
Well,
EXE
the
Galaxy is moving up right now, but they're not going to be able to cap this thing in time before the match ends.
Yeah, we have a minute 50 left, by the way. So,
yeah, they're
They
still
only-
going to drop some people on that point, though.
Only 3, and 1 died basically instantaneously.
I see 2 of them are still up, and they're actually flipping the point right now.
I've got a few more than that actually. Maybe I missed them. People dropping out.
Yeah, they let everybody out because they've actually capped the point. There's a few TRAF on the ground here. Of course,
Ooh,
this
most
does
of them
mean
are dead though.
this does mean that TRAF cannot make any sort of push on Frostfall.
Points already clear. They've got it capping back right now.
This is going to ensure, though, that we see a draw at the end of the first round.
Really evenly matched teams, actually. It's
Definitely.
surprising.
Let's see what happens next round when TRAF goes to their native element and gets to play TR, and EXE switches over to New Conglomerate.
TRAF has a single person left in this base. Just hiding underneath the stairs here.
EXE.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
EXE.
TRAF has spotted him. They know he's there. They just can't seem to find him. Oh, he's down now. Yeah, they're content to just kind of sit here at this base and leave it as is. I see an EXE Mosquito out there.
A couple vehicles coming out of the south here this time. Mostly in response to these harassers, I think.
Oh, I do see the TRAF Galaxy is now finally up. But it is working on hunting a Sunderer. Again, they have to realize at this point that they cannot cap either base, and when this round's going to end a draw.
all right, round's over, guys. Maggie, if you would throw a round end broadcast, and we'll get them back to their bases, and we'll bring on Mr. Scourge of the server for halftime, guys.
Chat room, please bear with me one moment while I switch over to my NC character, because I will be casting the NC side.
How you doing, Scourge?
Hi there.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the first half, Maggie?
Oh man, it was a good makeup because we got to see this back and forth between these two guys, mostly at Frostfall Overlook and a little bit at Geological Survey. But I'm a little disappointed that there wasn't any like new strategical pushes. It just became like a back and forth with
Hey,
the same
just
strategies
curious,
over
when
and
you
over again.
say-
Uh,
when
one-
you say new home base,
All right, so Scourge, did you see the first half?
Yes, I did.
All right, let's hear your breakdown, sir.
All right, so let's start with the beginning. Apparently, TRAF did not read the patch notes of, I think it was Performance Update 2.
Go
I
on.
mean, you know, all those harassers. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, like, I see that they're trying to do something more, you know, beyond the tried and true, you know, just spam air strat, which, you know, is what we've seen from almost all the established teams. You know, they just start the match with tons of aircraft. And, you know, Black Widow Company actually caught on to that, you know, last week. And they started the match with, like, you know, 6 or 12 Skyguards or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah,
That's
we did
what-
see it last week. That was good.
Well, that worked, but even, you know, they denied the air, but then it's like, oh, well, now what do we do? You know, that's the thing is when you start with air, you know you have the initiative, even if you're completely hard countered like that.
You're saying that maybe the Sky Guards were ineffective, obviously ineffective past the first push. You feel like they're maybe just kind of a waste of resources after that point. Obviously.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, you know, it sets the match to even, but it didn't give them an advantage, right? Because they're not going to be able to push up to the next space with them.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Whereas,
When you-
like, having some rocket launchers or something of that sort would have.
So
Right.
if you lull pod after that point, you still have an advantage. If you're lull podding, it's not going to lose its specific purpose past the break. Is what you're saying? Yeah.
I mean, that's why you've seen most teams start out with a really heavy air focus. I just think that the harasser play was kind of questionable. I mean, the alternative is they could have done a bunch of sunders. Like that was a tactic we saw DA do after their air was denied. The big train of sunders all with repairing each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the repair train. Your thoughts? I know we kind of brought this up, and you brought up a good point that we see a normal opening we've seen, a traditional opening we've seen for most of our preseason and before preseason play matches has been a heavy air opening. Now, aside from Skyguard, do you see any other valid strategies that we might see evolve to counter that, or do you think that's just going to be an accepted opening most of the time?
I think it's just going to be an accepted opening, just because. I mean, like I pointed out,
You want to get somewhere quickly. I mean, air is the fastest way to get to the point. And I mean, you even saw that kind of in the beginning of this fight. We saw some people pulling sides. We saw some people pulling Mozzies. But they didn't really, like, meet in the middle at that point. They all just kind of bowed and jumped onto the point.
You think with this latest patch, Scourge, we're going to see more of maybe a gal opening?
Oh, definitely. I absolutely think that each team is going to start with at least one gal, or maybe even two, one for each squad. I mean, the Galaxy is it's actually surprisingly valuable in air-to-air battles. Just for the massive amount of hit points it has, the walker that's on top.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
it's with a good effective gun crew. I think I'm just surprised. I guess we don't see more gal play. Maybe not tonight, but just period. Lately, I've been surprised after the patch that we haven't seen a great deal more gals in the air.
Hey,
that was something that EXE caught on to like halfway into the match.
What's that, Dragon?
Can we get the cert thing at Night Amp Station?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to wait. But yeah, I'll plop them down.
Yeah, thank you. You can just drag me back down if you want.
Sure. Sorry, Scourge, go ahead.
See, I think that's kind of where TRAF went wrong. Is I feel like they definitely played a better game when it came to the infantry squads getting on the point. They pushed their side of the lane much more often than EXE pushed them, but they kept giving up the outside advantage. They had that gal that they never had an answer for. It was constantly dropping people, denying their spawns.
So you think generally that TRAF was more or EXE was more active, more proactive, you should say?
Well, what I'm trying to say is that they were more proactive in terms of the whole match. Having spawns, having a plan, I suppose. Whereas I think TRAF actually played better as infantry squads. They managed to get on the point and push. Pretty well. I mean, it came down to like 10 seconds at one point, didn't it?
Yeah, it was like 17 seconds.
Yeah, the first push was pretty pivotal when they broke the max line. We see that kind of max hold up in here, and you'll usually have either an obvious ninja, couple max combo built into these rooms, and they did a pretty good job of cleaning up the NGs and support crew before they went after the maxes. I think Derringer made a good point of that when they breached. But I don't know. I was surprised we didn't see. I wish we would have seen more action on geological survey. It's always interesting to watch a lot of fight between those spires, all the crystal formations.
I feel like TRAF kind of made a very big mistake in just allowing themselves to be penned into that point, because that's the thing about all being in that crowded little space is AV nades, concussion nades before I mean, you saw the guys strafing in and out of the doors. Eventually, EXE figured out that, they didn't have to just all rush in. They could just sit in the doors and just, skirmish until they're all gone.
Yeah, I didn't see. Maybe I missed it. I was kind of watching within the room during that combat. I did not see much heavy use of the conch. Maybe I missed that, but I don't think I did.
I saw a few.
That is like what you already kind of brought up. That is the big weakness of combined air compacting all into one room.
Right,
But-
and that's the thing, is that they kind of had to be in that room because they had no answer for the galaxy.
There's a lot of good line of. I mean, there's some good line of sights, the good battle, good lanes that are actually handled inside that base. If they would have had air, wish he had a good point though. They didn't have an answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you hear a lot of people talk about, how just dominant air is in Community Clash in general.
Yeah, we've heard that argument before, and I can't really argue that it's not true. Which it's been proven time and time again. It's definitely true. With smaller numbers, you see air take a more pivotal role, and it can't be answered quite as heavily as when you see general play. That would be my opinion on most of the time of why maybe air feels as powerful as it does with smaller numbers like this. Now DA and Future Crew. Now you're part of Future Crew. You guys have a good solid air team. Are you?
Yes.
Were you surprised with how little air we saw in this? Obviously, we saw that gal for a good chunk of the first half. Are you surprised there wasn't more ESF play, or is it just with as pivotal as we've seen air before, or do you think there was something behind that more than just them not interested in playing air?
I think a lot of it is it's kind of a lesson that I see teams learn. They learn the hard way, like when they get into their first Community Clash scrim. Because most people on the live server are very used to just working together as, a big 12-man infantry squad or whatever, and that's pretty much what you saw. They were pretty intent on keeping their full 12 squads together. They'd park their sunders and wait for people to get in and whatever. But
Definitely got to see some more air in the future. I think it's really pivotal, and we've been trying more and more. Actually, after scrimming with Future Crew to work on our own air skills.
You're talking about squad comp. Scourge, does Future Crew, do you do the traditional 12-12 as far as a breakout, say, for a platoon, or say hypothetically you're playing a comm clash, would you break 12-12 like that normally, or is there better squad composition that would work for that?
Oh, well, we're still experimenting with how many people per squad, but the thing we found is that you absolutely have to have a squad just for the pilots. And you have to have an effort to keep them in the air at all times. And, if necessary, that means rotating, vehicles, like having people from the other squads pull, aircraft for the people in the air squad. So, you need at least 3 squads, in my opinion. We actually saw DA last time did 4 squads, which, I thought maybe that's a little unwieldy. But, absolutely, you have to keep the pilots together and organized. And I feel like that's just kind of the thing that outfits, they kind of learn from experience when they get into a match.
Yeah, it's that having that air presence, I guess. What I've seen a lot from you guys, from competitive teams such as your guys, is that you focus a lot, your pilots at least focus a lot, you focus on having your air team being its own kind of entity, aside from everyone else, and they develop their own kind of, I don't know, we're going to say personality to a certain sense outside of the outfit itself. And it seems like because it's so crucial, the personalities of the people that play air in this game shine a lot in multiple different mediums, whether it be Reddit or forums, etc.
Well, I mean, there's definitely a little bit of elitism that comes with pilots. I mean, they kind of have that World War I pilot, scarf waving in the wind kind of attitude.
And you think that's because primarily the learning curve?
Oh, yeah, more or less. I mean, that's the thing about being a pilot, is it's kind of a decision that you make at some point while playing the game. that I'm gonna master this one thing, and then you kind of become stuck for that. I mean, like I still have people who think that all I do is fly Liberator, and which is funny because that's maybe 10% or less of the time I've spent in the game is flying a lib now, but that's like what I'm known for because that was how I started.
Yeah, back when libs were extremely powerful before they were for the initial updates.
And it looks like everything's ready to rock and roll, unless there's something that you see that's super
Just
off,
tech
Adam.
plans. Just tech plan. And
Oh,
once-
yeah.
Once tech plans flip, we'll be ready to go for the second half and get back to Solaris and Derringer. Thanks for coming on, Scourge. I know that a lot of people know your name in the community, and you play competitively as well as Future Crew does, obviously as a member of it. And appreciate your time and your breakdown the first half.
Sure thing.
Well, we'll see you again. I have a strong suspicion, maybe in the next couple weeks, possibly. Maybe not in the
might.
same facility, but we'll see. All right, thank you, sir. I'll talk to you later. Alrighty, second half has begun. Solaris, Derringer, enjoy yourselves.
Got some of them already heading down, pulling tanks or sunders perhaps in the bottom. Meanwhile, everybody else looks like they're heading straight off to the air pads themselves.
I see the exact same thing going on here for TRAF.
Quite a few mosquitoes coming out now. Looks like they're waiting amongst themselves. They're not pushing forward, actually. They're not yet, anyhow.
I do see a few Reavers just actually took off. Actually, there are 4 Reavers in the air, making a quick push.
And now this is a big battle right here. This is the battle we were expecting the first time.
You're absolutely right. This is the air battle that we were looking for.
My god.
Most of TRAF, though, seems like they're just skipping a lot of this fight. They're going straight for the point.
That's good. They should do that. Because that's the one thing that they missed last time. Get to that point as quick as humanly possible. And as we said, that A point's going to be flipping any second.
Oh, Frostfall. Frostfall was contested before they could actually get there. We've got a full squad here, and they can't do anything.
That's exactly what happened. And unfortunately, they're just kind of stuck here on the point, not knowing what to do. They all ditched their mosquitoes as they landed, so they're kind of just stuck here.
Well, the point's being reclaimed. There weren't too many NC left over here.
All right, I'll stay here then. And
got 1 left on point, no 2.
These guys are just content to sit here on this point. And I do see that the Sunders are just driving by, ignoring geological survey, which means TRAF will be able to cap this point if they can get that other one back.
They've got the point back now.
They do have the point back. Okay, excellent. How much time left is on it?
We've got a minute on this cap. Or a minute
Okay.
until it's resecured, rather.
Well, they're not going to make it because 6 Sunders just went down the road, and they're all pushing hard on Frostfall Overlook. They're ignoring everything else, and they're just making that push in. Again, I don't believe that they know that TRAF was on the point back there. So they're just kind of assuming that if they get in here and cap that back, it's just going to go. I think they're going to be in for a rude surprise in 25 seconds when that point flips, and they're not able to recap it even though they've committed their entire force here. So 15 seconds. Let's see if TRAF can hold here for 15 more seconds.
EXE's moved a Sunder around on the south side of this base, so they're trying to get themselves in a position to be able to move up.
Like I said, they've got 6 Sunders, but with 4 seconds left,
all this effort might be for naught.
It is going to be absolutely for naught because the other point, it should be flipping shortly. And I'm going to actually make my way back over here. And why isn't it flipping? You know why it's not flipping? Because all of Alpha for EXE is here and have cleared out everybody that was on the A point. There's a lone person left. He's getting shot at right now. He's not going to last long.
A few EXE made a push for the point, but they're relatively quickly cut down.
Again, half of them are stuck back here at Geological Survey, so... Yes, just to clarify for the chat room, everything got flipped for this half, which means TRAF is now playing TR. They were playing VS last round. And this time EXE, they did not want to play VS. They wanted to play as NC. So EXE is NC this round, and TRAF is playing TR this round.
When we have a matchup that faces two of the same faction, the way the rules dictate, what the rules dictate is that the two teams do a coin flip before the match, and that each picks their off faction they would like to play. Those are the factions they would play during their half chosen.
Flip the point here at Frostfall. A couple of the NC went around the outside and come into the point. Once the TR figure this out, though, it should be relatively quickly.
Here's a
up.
Galaxy drop by TRAF on the A point. Most of them were quickly cut down, though.
This base is still flipping, actually. We've got 2 NC on the point for the moment. TR need to respond to this and try and kick that Sunder back off this base.
Again, TR made a drop on Geological Survey, but again, like you said, Frostfall is being capped at this point, so the people that dropped here cannot do anything.
The point's been resecured by the TR, so hopefully we'll see a push here from the NC as they gather back up. Oh, the Sunder is down here. I must have missed that.
Yeah, all the TR that were here at Geological Survey are down. Basically, most of Alpha for EXE has this point locked down. But I do see that the vehicle terminal was hacked here. And they actually TRAF just did a Galaxy drop by the vehicle terminal. Let's see if they pull out a Sunderer. No, the person left it.
Still some NC here floating around. A Max. A couple randoms. Not sure exactly what they're getting at, though.
The Galaxy's dropping off people left and right here at this point. Again, I'm very surprised none of them have gone for that vehicle terminal. I think that's an oversight on TRAF's part.
I think that Max is just trying to waste as much time as they can. Most of the TR are still here.
All right, we do have the base flipping here at Geological Survey in TRAF's favor. This is going to force the entire battle back this way.
Looks like mostly Bravo squad that is still here. Again, they're sticking with the very similar setup that EXE used. You've got one squad that tends to stay back and another one that moves forward.
Same thing here. All of Alpha is at Geological Survey for EXE right now. And they're working their way to take back that A point. But TRAF does have a few people in there.
They still have that Galaxy up as well. They're making good use of it this time. Much better than last time. They should be able to get some reinforcements down here, and they're going to need it.
There is an EXE dual burster Max out, though, and he's starting to put a dent into that Galaxy. Not enough to scare it away completely, because it's still circling the base. Again, TRAF has this point. And really, they're doing it with only 4 or 5 people.
They're doing a good job of getting their men up forward now. Looks like they might have a Sunder. Yes, they do. They've got a Sunder far off to the southeast.
Yes, you're absolutely right. There is a Sunder. I've got it northwest up here. I have a Sunder.
That's a different one.
Oh, a different one. We have 2 Sunders. Excellent. It looks like they finally took advantage of that hacked vehicle terminal.
They're doing a good job of holding this point, too. They've spread themselves out. They're covering lots of the angles.
Yeah, and I do have all of... it looks like almost all of EXE has now recalled to this spawn room, and they're going to have to make a push on that point now, because TRAF is all over the place in here. Again, something that we saw last round, EXE... they don't push out until they've completely formed everybody up, is what it seems.
Got a bit of a push for some maxes and some infantry coming around the outside on the east.
Yes, but TRAF is actually pulling a Sunderer to the A point right now.
Oh, those guns are going to make a big difference.
I see a number of EXE players up on that bridge, but they're getting cut down. I don't know that they realize that the vehicle terminal there is hacked and they can't pull their own vehicles out of it.
They're coming out of the alternate spawn room through the teleporter here, and that's a good position because it gives them a lot of overview. They get elevation on the TR down there at the bottom.
You're absolutely right. But TRAF they are dug into that A point. They've got that Sunderer in the back now, which was you were absolutely right. That was an excellent move by them to get that Sunderer in here. TRAF is doing everything in their power to make sure they get some points this round.
Yeah, one thing to consider too is since the vehicle changes, they essentially act as AMSs for your squad.
That is
so even
correct.
though they can't deploy there, they can still respawn there if Alpha runs off and get themselves killed in a place they can't be rezzed at.
And as we've seen, or as I've seen while playing, if Bravo Squad swaps somebody into Alpha Squad and owns that Sunderer, they're able to do it too.
Hot swapping like that can be really
Hot
powerful.
swapping. We have 37 or so seconds left on this point. TRAF does seem to still have it locked down well. They're moving around amongst these spires and spikes. Does look like EXE is trying to make a push, one or two at a time though. They're actually rushing some maxes in here now to try and dig themselves into this point. 13 seconds. It's going to be the exact same thing as last round.
Oh, they just need to collapse on that point and hold
And
it.
it's flipping back in the
Oh.
other direction. But TRAF is actually moving back onto that point. They may still get it back.
They had the bodies there. They just need to fight it out.
It is so close here.
Oh, and these scat maxes, these are just
Oh
going
my
to town.
God.
But that Sunder is still pushing people out of it though.
Resnades.
And res grenades are going off left and right. This point has just been neutral for a while now. And there it goes, TRAF's favor, 5 seconds.
Oh man, we might finally see a
2.
base flip.
And there we go. TRAF has scored points.
All right, so that's 2 points on the board for TRAF. That puts TRAF at 2, and EXE is 0 at the moment.
Now TRAF is just going to clean up the rest of these NC.
That was a really good push from them, though. They almost had that.
Again, I think the Sunder was the turning point on that battle.
Even if your medics go down, you'll be able to respawn in a relatively short amount of time.
Love seeing that fire suppression on on Sundays now.
EXE is not giving up, and if you look on my screen right now, there's actually one of them up in the spire, which I don't... Oh, I'm sorry. He jumped down right now. He's actually moving his way to the point.
I think we are following the same person.
Yeah, no, he's getting cut down. I think if he had stayed in that spire and remained hidden, he might have been able to recap that point on his own. But
So now
instead...
we're moving on to the next phase here. If they had their plan made out, they might have had somebody on the next point, but I think they made a decision to fully commit to this point with all members.
And I think we have to agree that that was the correct decision to make.
Definitely in this case. They're so
I'm going to
evenly
move my camera over to the other base right now and check the preparations there. Because EXE, a number of them are in their spawn room right now getting ready to come out, but I don't see that they're actually prepping this base or anything like that. The majority of them are just actually sitting in the spawn room right now. Interesting. I would have expected them to be out and mining that road immediately.
We've got TRAF trying to get their Sunderer out, but they're pulling another Sunderer right now. Looks like they're trying to push out mostly in Sundays to move on to the next base.
I do have a single TRAF Mosquito circling not research camp right now.
Oh, the point is flipping right now in Geological Survey. Maybe that infiltrator that I was following earlier.
No, I saw him get cut down, but there were a few members of EXE up on the bridge. Yeah, there's really very little activity here at Knot. There's a single Mosquito in the air. It's actually being surrounded and shot down right now. There are 5 Reavers in the air, actually circling Knot right now and are making their way back to the point itself.
TRAF is resecuring. They don't.
They're resecuring, but they're getting shot at right now. We've got a few strafing runs by some Reavers right now. Number of Reavers bringing strafing runs. This is what I expect EXE. I expected EXE to do in the first half.
They have to keep that pressure up too. If they won't have any chance on moving.
You're absolutely right. They must take this base back.
Oh, I found that rather stealthy medic that must have made his way over to the point earlier.
TRAF seems pretty content to kind of sit and hold on to this point right now, though. They don't.
It's really their game to lose at this point.
You're absolutely right. It is their game to lose. I have a few people dropping out of their Reavers, but again, TRAF has that point locked down. They have, I count at least 5 or 6 people sitting on that point right now, ensuring that EXE isn't able to get it. And I've got a Burster Max on the ground
here.
Here
Comes a Galaxy. Looks like they're dropping.
There they go. Dropping right to the point. They are on the point right now. Half of them were shot down, but the point is starting to flip. Nope. TRAF was able to hold it.
They got cut down pretty quickly. I think, again, that Sunder being camped out right next to the point.
A res grenade actually just went off. They are all back up. That's one
Still
thing.
seeing a rather partial effort, though. I think we're able to bring in a few more people. They might have been able to make a foothold and make a real push.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They all got back up, but then they were all taken down again. Again, I'm going to move my way to back
We're seeing
over.
Alpha Squad TRAF right now making a move for the next base.
Yeah, at Not Research, we do have a TRAF Sunder already set up here at Not Research, and they're actually running all over this base here as well.
We've got one Sunny set up in the south. We're repairing that right now, taking a little bit of heat.
And I have one in the north as well. Actually, A point is flipping in TRAF's favor right now. It looks like there's a single TRAF member on that point, but they have contested it into their favor. And now EXE has to make their push back to that point.
Even if they only have the one person, keeping that pressure up is extremely important. We've got 3 on the point right now. No, 2. And 1 got cut down, just left the 1 person. EXE made a pretty good push. They got a lot of, maybe 8
Yeah,
people.
all of Alpha just made a push onto that point, so...
That just bought them a lot of time for TRAF to try and
Holy
regather
maxes.
themselves and push in.
20 seconds left on that cap. The northern Sunder here was found and it was taken down. Is the southern Sunder still up for TRAF?
It is still up.
I see some light assaults jumping.
They seem to be just kind of piling out, though. There's no real organized push at the moment.
Actually, there is an organized push there. TRAF is on A point right now. 1 max suit with plenty of support. Flipping the A point in their favor.
These must have come from the northern Sunder.
No, they definitely came from the southern one because the northern one was shot down.
They had a 4-max push from the southern one. That's what kind of broke the line when they came up here.
There is almost no one from from EXE here right now. Actually, they're starting to respawn, but there's only 4 or 5 of them that have respawned. Where is the rest? Okay, all of Alpha is respawning now here, and they're starting to make their way out. But they do have to hurry up.
Got a few random members of TRAF running around the outside. I'm not exactly sure what their goal is.
I'm not sure what they're doing either. I saw them run around the northern side of the spawn room here and thought to myself, that's an odd way to go.
Perhaps he's trying to get some good flanking positions on.
All right, we have a max suit. I'm going to follow EXE up as they make their push. They're trying to shoot out from this room over towards the A point, but I definitely see TRAF has their people inside that point.
Yeah, TRAF's using lockdown. Max is now just firing rounds with rounds up all these windows and doors.
Yeah, not a lot of activity on EXE's side here. I see all of Alpha Squad's here, and I do see that there is Galaxy in the air. Galaxy actually just dropped all their people. They're dropping them on that Southern Sunder. I think if you focus on that Southern Sunder, you're going to see them taking it out.
I'm seeing them flying over it right now on radar.
It's on fire.
A little bit of pressure now coming in on the point.
This is where TRAF should have one person back pulling a Galaxy to get them a new spawn point. I do see that EXE Sunder, the EXE Galaxy is still flying around. It's taking some fire, but it is landed just outside the A point here.
Surprised we don't see more infantry turrets up here from their engineers.
We do have a push. I have a couple max suits with some infantry support. They've just smoked out the A point, and they're making their push in from both of these front doors.
Got Maxes making a push through that right door. And yeah, they're coming around the left side too.
I see max shields are up. Wow. Those TR Maxes, my goodness. They shredded the entire EXE assault. Res grenades are flying though. It's just
Looks like it's gonna be
bodies
enough.
everywhere. Just bodies everywhere. I do see from the northern vehicle pad, TRAF has hacked it and they've pulled asunder.
I have to say one thing. I have to give it to Comclash TR40. This guy is a clutch bandolier medic. Like, not time and time again I've seen him clear like the entire size of the room.
45 seconds left on this cap. TRAF is in control of that 8 point.
Very little time to try and make a good push back inside here.
Here comes the push though. All of Alpha and all of Bravo is making another concerted push on that 8 point. They have to take this point back. They are, you're absolutely right though, they are running out of time.
Oh, they're charging it?
Are charging across the catwalk here.
I actually think that turret got in the way of the first one.
And they're pushing in. I'm going to dig myself right in the room here. Maxes are inside. Scat Max and TR Max just took each other out. They're both
Several
lying on
TR
top of each
Maxes
other.
are down,
but we
cap.
do have a cap.
It's 2 more points on the board for TRAF. 4-0.
TRAF is now just clearing out. Well, EXE can still take this point back.
TRAF's starting to push out now, though. They're clearing it up pretty quickly.
Yeah, they're pushing. You're absolutely right. They are pushing out.
I think it's 4-0, Maggie.
Yeah, the person is going to update that score to 4-0. EXE is definitely pushing out. TRAF is completely cleared off this base. I mean, EXE is completely cleared off this base. I'm sorry. TRAF completely owns it. I'm pushing back to the amp station where EXE is coming out of their spawn room now. And they're
TRAF's
making
already
their way
pulling
over.
Sunders. Looks like they have a plan in mind. Hoping we're going to see another GSD Sunday rush here. We really don't have time for much anything else.
We're going to see some air by EXE now. They're pulling out Sunderers, and they're also pulling out some Reavers as well.
What's the time left on the match?
22 minutes.
Alright, they definitely have time. They've
Plenty
got
of time.
GSDs rolling out right now. I've got 2. They're leaving some of Bravo left here for a defense. The rest look like they're moving out in Sundays.
All right, I have the first of the Reavers entering the air. I'm going to follow these 2 guys.
I like they're clearing up the mines before they even start. They knew it was coming.
Reavers are making a push pretty far out. All right, we have
A little bit of air for TAF here. TRAF rather.
Yeah, I do see a single TRAF Mosquito and a Reaver fighting it out. Second Reaver is now in the mix. and that mosquito is down. I do see EXE is manning these turrets right now, and they're just daring this armor to come up the road.
Single Sunder had gotten inside the base, but it didn't stay up for very long.
Yeah, it's gone now. Yeah,
Looks like their push was pretty much stopped before we even got out there.
Yeah, EXE has definitely denied it, and again, there are Sunders coming up the road, but they're just being peppered with shots as they come up the road.
They're trying to repair one of their 2 Sunders, TRAF is, but keeps getting pummeled by Reavers as they pass by.
And they've got a far Sunderer out there, but it's sticking itself out, which means the turrets here can hit it, and it's just got taken out as well. I guess the question now is, does TRAF make a hard push for not amp station here, or do they sit on their 4-0 lead and try to win it that way?
Couple lightnings coming out now from EXE, engaging the Sunders. Saw Max drop out there, probably a good idea. Let's call it Max.
Yeah, they took one of the lightnings out, and the other one's taking heavy fire as well. And we
that
can
would
tell
be
you're
a great time to see another Galaxy drop, actually, from EXE. If they were to get in here with a squad or more, they'd be able to take this point back, at least keep the pressure up.
And we can definitely tell you play VS almost exclusively when you called it a Comet, Max.
Oh.
TR's use pounders. Yeah, we did get a TRAF Sunderer was brought in here at one point, but it was quickly knocked down. Yeah, it seems like EXE has the base under locks right now, and I see a single infantry or 2 from TRAF pushing their way up, but there's not a heck of a lot of movement from TRAF.
No, it looked like they were going to get something rolling at first, but...
And they definitely did get something
now.
rolling, but they got knocked down pretty quickly. EXE was quick to man these turrets. I see another Sunderer making its way up. And it's just kind of getting pelted by mana turrets and lightnings. I think TRAF is really trying to get a Sunderer in a good position so they can start spawning their infantry out of it.
The point is flipping, though. A couple people snuck by.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Not research is now in... Well, it's flipping back the other way now.
Not for long. There's only one on the roof. Just harassing them a little bit.
Well, it does keep the pressure on them.
What I'd like to see from TRAF right now is actually a push around the west side. I think if you were to go around, probably push a Sunder up that direction without being seen.
Well, again, that's their problem. They're having trouble getting those Sunderers out. EXE has a few Reavers in the air now that seem to be scouting everything that's going on here at Not Amp Station. And I do see a few Max suits out here for TRAF, and they do seem to keep spawning Sunderers, but they aren't able to get them that far.
Looks like you might be trying to do us an old-fashioned infantry push through these hills, actually.
Well, like I said, now's the time to use your Galaxies.
15 minutes left, or sorry, 17 minutes left.
EXE is moving a Sunderer down to Not Research Lab. They're about to drop it on the eastern side of the base here. Actually, they're moving all the way around to the southern side of the base. As I say that, though, TRAF has 4 Sunderers out now.
All GSD.
The question is, will EXE be able to get their people in position and assault the point here at Not Research before TRAF can make a push into the amp station?
It only takes one person to spawn out that Sunder, come up and contest this point, and that entire push can be a wasted effort. Is that Sunder still up? Yes, it is.
Yeah, I don't believe TRAF saw it even make its way around the backside of the base. They're too busy trying to load themselves up and get their Sunders out
Well,
of here.
this crafty little guy is hiding underneath the Sunder right now, shooting anybody who happens to spawn at it, so I know the TRAF knows it's here. Oh, he just blew himself up.
All right, we have Scourge's favorite. Here comes a harasser.
Oh, Galaxy incoming. EXE making a push for not research.
Yeah, there goes the EXE Galaxy. And at the exact same time, Gate Diffuser Sunders are making their way through into the amp station.
Oh, they're not going to make it in time.
Gate Diffuser is in the base and blown up by tank mines. No one could get... I'm sorry, 2 people did get out of the harasser, though, and are making their way to the A point. They are going to be flipping this. TRAF is flipping the amp station right now. And
TRAF
they're going to
actually-
get the... They
TRAF,
got the flip.
Go ahead. Nice.
TRAF has flipped the amp station.
So EXE was actually on point really quickly, but they hesitated to actually drop down and get to the point itself. I'm a little bit confused on that. They tried to actually engage the enemy from the roof, and in doing so, they wasted a bit too much time. Now they've got a lot of maxes here, a lot of infantry, and nothing they can do with it. I'm
There is
counting,
a not
counting
amp
4
station
maxes on point
is
here.
going back in EXE's favor. There's a single TR Max unit here. He had an engineer as support, but
Show this Galaxy with its bulldog through the shield.
let's actually talk about the Gate Diffuser Sunderer that just came through here at the amp station.
Point is flipping now at not research.
Oh, that's going to be too bad then for TRAF. They were able to get another Sunderer in here. But
There are a lot of maxes in here. This is pretty well locked down.
all right, I'm going to have to make my way back to not then, because this is taken care of down over here at the amp station.
So
Yeah, now there's-
engineers on both sides are using AV turrets inside of here. Maybe that's supposed to be a anti-max weapon at this point?
I do believe it's a valid tactic.
The TRAF's starting to come up now. They've got most of Bravo moving up. Oh, they're getting decimated though, literally. When Max charged through, he's going to get cut down quickly.
Oh, he definitely is. Too many scat maxes for him to deal with. I did just hear the call from EXE saying that both of their Sunders at Not Research were taken out. But I do see they're bringing another one in.
One of the south is definitely down. They do have a Reaver on station, but that's a little too late now.
The medics here of EXE are doing double time, keeping their people up.
Looks like their numbers are cut down by maybe half now at this point.
Yeah, but they're getting them right back up though. They're doing a good job here. I will say that I'm privy to their squad chat, and oh boy, are they swearing at each other. Apparently, Bravo squad keeps standing in the doorway and getting cut down by their own max units. That's a tip for you softies out there. If there's maxes behind you, you need to get behind those maxes.
Meat shield. That Reaver's actually doing a good job of providing some extra pressure out here.
Yeah, I think we need to see more maxes. I see a couple coming in now for TRAF onto this point.
Yeah, they're trying to do a good job of flanking them from the stairs as well.
There's a number of max suits coming in now, actually. I count 6 or 7.
I think
Have
it's
just
gonna be
pushed
it.
their way into the A point. And they are in the A point. They have it locked down. It's coming back in TRAF's favor. But coming in at the exact same time, EXE is making a push up the back stairs. Excellent job by the TR Max suits, because they saw the res grenades go off and immediately turned and started taking out the players before they could get back up. And they're definitely keeping this back door on lockdown. Points flipping only because there's only max units left here. And they were able to keep it. And it is squarely back. I'm sorry, 2 minutes left on the recap here.
Really good effort coming from EXE this time, but they weren't able to hold it for quite long enough. How much time do they have left? About a minute?
They did. I don't know. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. That's
A
my
minute.
bad.
Yeah, just a minute 30 something. This is 10 minutes left in the match.
EXE is still making a push though. They got another Sunder up in the back there.
Just watched EXE Reaver have a little bit of an accident, if you will. Alright, see another good push coming up.
Yep, they're pushing that back door again. No, I'm sorry, they're coming up the stairs.
Back door as well.
Good job by them to attack from two sides then. Res grenades are still going off left and right.
Pounder Max in the back door there did some work. Looks like he took down about 4 of them by himself.
Yeah, we got a Pounder Max at the this door as well. They're all Pounder Maxes. Well, I'm sorry. This one's not a Pounder Max. Yeah, they have this locked down. 29 seconds left. They are going to do the full resecure here. And then we'll see if they're able to make another push towards the amp station or not. Dead bodies everywhere. Reavers on their way in. Another Sunderer on its way in, making its way around the back again. There's something for everybody watching on the channel. If you're ever fighting here at Not Research, the Sunderers always seem to go by this back outcropping with the spikes here. This is where people seem to stick their Sunderers. EXE has driven all of their Sunderers to this exact same spot every time.
So the funny thing is, I'm in their platoon, so I can see that they have their platoon marker on that exact location. So every time they've just driven it directly to their platoon waypoint.
They already know that's where it's going to be, huh?
No need to have to move it.
Yeah.
8 minutes 30 seconds left.
All right. EXE is making a huge push. All of Alpha, all of Bravo is making a push at the exact same time off of that Sunderer.
They're going to have to do it quickly. There's already a lightning on that Sunday.
They've split their forces into two directions as well.
Well, lightning's done. Never mind.
And they're also parking a Sunder on the opposite side of the base as well, just for insurance purposes. And here they come. We've got a push all going down the back door.
I'm going to show from the TR perspective here. They aren't quite ready for it yet. Looks like they aren't expecting it. Shifting a little bit toward the back door.
I'm going to follow these NC in then. I've got them all around that back door.
Here we go.
Max shields are up, and they're pushing in.
Tank mines go out from the TR.
Oh!
Those shields do work.
Dead bodies in the back, though. Res grenades aren't going off fast enough for EXE here.
They got the immediate stairs clear. They are still pushing up. The TR have pushed back a little bit.
TRAF does have a max suit in the back, though, causing a little havoc.
Oh, some good flanking here from this. Oh, he's down now.
Excellent flanking. Res grenades are still going off, though.
As long as they can sustain the push, they might be able to get inside this room.
I don't know. The max suits, the TR max suits on the stairs are doing some work, as Torx would say.
Doing some.
They're getting those maxes back up, though, and they've flanked it. Looks like they're going to take the top of the stairs. Oh.
Yeah, they were able to make a successful push off of that Sunderer.
EXE was pushed back off the small stair again, though.
Yeah, EXE max suits are leading the way. They're pushing into A right now. God, all I see is res grenades hitting the ground, one after the other after the other. TRAF is getting all their people back up.
Another res grenade over here as well. Lots and lots of dead traveler here.
Lots of dead EXE on
Point's
this
almost
side.
entirely clear.
Yeah, and it's flipping. There goes another res grenade. All of TRAF is back up.
That was an excellent push, though. They'll go down again quickly.
And they have the point.
A couple TRAF actually snuck through.
Right, and they're flipping it back in their favor. My goodness.
Oh, that was a nice knife. That was actually surprising.
Yeah, no, it's clear. All
There
of
were,
the EXEs.
two or
Res
three
grenade
got
went
res
off.
grenaded and just were not killed again.
Yeah, no, it's clear. Very good work to TRAF there. I especially liked the max suit teabagging the NC max suit. Yeah, this point is back in TRAF's favor. It didn't even have enough time to flip over for it to have any sort of countdown.
Yeah, it looks like they still haven't found the Sunder in the southwest. They will
They
be
actually
soon.
have, because a Liberator is bombing it now. This is the first Liberator we've seen.
It is.
Just want to put out a big note here that TRAF is on not Amp Station A point as well.
Ah,
4 minutes 45 seconds left in the match.
everyone thank Maggie for that, because she's absolutely right. They are on the A point, couple of max suits.
And they didn't GSD it, actually. They got the shields down the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. 2 max suits, an infiltrator, a medic, and an engineer are the 5 people sitting on this point right now. But all of EXE has responded to this.
Which direction are they coming up from?
They all took the jump pad to the air terminal, and they're going to be coming down this jump pad in a second, or whatever the tubes are.
There's an EXE Reaver that was engaging for a little while, but really just kind of wasting time at this point.
Yeah, that being said, TRAF is just dug in on this point.
That Liberator
not-
is actually circling outside right now as well.
One surprising thing for TRAF here is they do have a single infiltrator. I am surprised he hasn't hacked all these terminals. And here comes the EXE push back to the A point.
All of TRAF has left not research.
EXE's pushing hard on the point. They've already taken down 1 max suit and the infiltrator. They're pincering from the other stairway, and they have it cleared.
We've got a TRAF Sunny coming up on the backside of the base. It's going to be set up in what we sometimes call the sweet spot, if you will.
The A point here is swarmed by EXE, but I do see Sunder after Sunder coming in for TRAF right now. We do have one Sunder in the base, quickly being taken out though.
Just gonna
My
check on
guess
these
is-
shield jets.
My guess is that was the decoy Sunder. Even though on the outside, EXE has found the other Sunder in the sweet spot. But TRAF still is able to control it.
Scat Max coming up to that Sunny now. Just gonna farm
Scatmax
that thing
is
for a little while.
laying waste on that Sunder right now. A TR Max just popped out though. They're doing a battle. Hey, Scatmax is down.
Points flipping
No-
again.
Another Scatmax is coming though. TRAF needs to pour out of this Sunder and defend it at all costs.
We've got about 5 people, 6, 7 now on the point.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. TRAF has this point on lockdown.
It'd be interesting to see how many people they actually devote to that purpose now, because if they leave the Sunder open, they might not be able to really push in.
Well, it's majority infantry.
You know what we haven't seen yet either are these terminals hacked. If they were to pull a couple vehicles up, it might be a really good strategy to be able to lock down these entryways.
I don't see a single infiltrator this time around, though.
There was one by the by the Sunder, but I'm not sure he wasn't running inside.
He must not have made it in.
He actually just got cut down by a lone heavy here at the
1
Sunder.
minute left in the match.
There's only a minute left, though. Not enough time for TRAF to take this, but also not enough time for EXE to gain any points. This is going to be a TRAF victory.
Lone heavy trying to take out the Sunder back here, but blockade armors make it too tough. And, he's down.
EXE have taken the tunnels, and they are actually pushing to the horizontal generator area right now. They're going to make a concerted push, it looks like, on that Sunder to try and take it out. Lots of heavies. And sure enough, they've got a bead on that Sunder and are pouring rockets into it. But again, there's not much time left in this match.
Not exactly sure what their strategy is right now with the way that they've displayed
All right,
themselves
guys,
at the point.
that's the end of the match.
And that's all she wrote.
That is all she wrote. That is a victory for TRAF. 4-0. 4-0 for TRAF. Congratulations. Guys, we're going to bring the outfits back up once they talk to the guys really quickly, but that was a good match. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed watching that. A lot of back and forth.
A lot of infantry.
Yeah, not much air. A lot of infantry. Not much armor, really, either. I mean, a little bit, but mainly an infantry fight. Like you said.
A lot more lightnings, I think, the first time. It felt like it anyhow.
Definitely way more lightnings the first time around.
And I think that we could see a big difference when we got TRAF onto their native faction.
You're absolutely right. I do think TRAF benefited from playing TR.
And they are still fighting it out here as well. I'm not exactly sure they know it's over.
I've broadcasted that it's the end.
Hey, it's not every day you get to play on the Jaeger server.
I wish
Fight
it
it out.
was.
They want to maximize every minute they have.
Well, you know you're going up against an even number, so you can't be like, oh, they just have more people than me. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you do have to look at it like they are pulling out strategies that are countering what you're doing.
Somebody's
lot
always
of,
going to be a John.
Seen a lot of GGs. That's good. I like seeing the virtual handshakes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Good sportsmanship.
Yeah. So Jack and Dragon, you just tell me when you guys are ready to talk to you're done talking to your guys. I'd love to chat with you guys post show. When you guys are
Yeah, I'm
when
ready.
you are ready.
Yeah, well, I'm ready right now. We're just, we're done here, I guess. We got nothing else to... I mean, my guys are good. I'm talking too much. What do you want?
I would love to hear your thoughts on the match and what your guys thought. Did they have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go first.
Was so the thing that really pissed my guys off, I mean, I wouldn't say pissed off, but the characters not being sorted out, it was okay for the first one, but the second one, they were like not even a quarter way through doing their certs when we started.
Definitely, we thought we had more time for that. I was literally about to start my officers' meeting, and then they were like, what are you talking about? There's 5 seconds left. And then I shouted a bunch of swears and tried to get everyone organized. We had a bad start and a bad finish.
And I mean,
Well-
not just that, but without squad beacons and stuff like that.
It is challenging without
You
squad
should
beacons.
just have the characters should just have absolutely every cert filled out before we
Yeah,
even log in.
we wish that was something we could make happen, but unfortunately, that's not.
But do you wipe the characters every time? Because
Nope.
So I'll tell my guys to finish sorting out everything that they do before they log out. Okay.
Well, we'll have some other stuff coming with the accounts as well. So those will be maxed XP and everything else. So you'll see squad beacons in the actual season. Right now we're still kind of just going through preseason. But so let's split you guys up. Let's start with the EXE since it kind of started that way. Dragon, what did EXE have a good time, and what were your thoughts on the match as a whole?
Yeah. So we definitely did. We had our thing going for the first one. We felt like we made a mistake or two at the beginning that kind of cost us that round. But the second round when we got playing with the faction that we weren't familiar with, we were pretty pleased with weapons and stuff. But we couldn't deal with the air at that point. So with the faction that we were unfamiliar with.
All right. Well, TRAF, congratulations for your guys' victory.
Thank
It
you.
was a hell of a fight from both people. We saw a great match, so thank you for that. What did you guys think about the match, Jack?
Well, we were happy to not be going up against Future Crew.
Okay.
Who are great guys, but they're 80 times better than us. So we were happy to be playing against an outfit so similar to ours. They had a lot of fun, a little bit frustrating. That first round was a bit insane on both ends. I'm sure we were both a little bit frustrated there, but lots of fun. That second round got pretty heated, and I had a blast. I don't know. I'm sure the rest of my guys did as well. Well, if you want to talk to me in 20 minutes, I'd tell you exactly how much they hate me for all the bad orders I gave, but that's another thing.
Well, it could have been too bad. You guys won, so you did a good job, and thank you both for coming on. I hope you had a good time, and look forward to talking to you guys more later on.
I do have some questions if we have like a moment.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'd
Go
love to
ahead.
answer
Sure.
questions. I
Oh
like to
man.
talk.
So first of all, I want to know what was with the harasser strat. We saw a lot of harasser strat, and Scourge brought it up in the mid game while I was trying to flip everything, and I was just wondering what you guys were trying to attain there. For a while, I was like, oh, they're using the Sundies to kind of tank, and then they were trying to use the harassers to be back there DPSing, but then it didn't always work out that way, so I was like, I don't really know what their strat was here.
All right, I guess I can answer this one. It was a clutch call. I leave things up to my squad leaders, unless they have an order from their platoon lead that says, "Don't do something." They're free to do whatever they want. And I said, "You guys have free range. We got Sunders coming down the road, and we got a lightning. You guys pulled a lot of lightnings there. That was pretty surprising. We didn't expect that. So I just told them to hold their positions at Geo, and he comes in on and he says, "We're going to take out those lightnings." And I said, "Go get them." And that was the way he chose to do it. And I think it was the right call. I think he did well. People will probably criticize that one because of the harasser being such a paper tiger now. But they made it work, and I think results speak for themselves. You can't really speak to anything other than the results.
Yeah, I was honestly confused why, because we were expecting more lightnings to come at us, or for you guys to just try and jump over us. But then we made, because that was where we made our mistake too, was that we had your base open and ready to attack it, and but we had a miscommunication, and certain guys didn't stay back to defend our base, and so we lost that point by like 2 seconds. That was really the key point right there around that lightning battle.
Yeah, that was a fun point in the mission, though. I remember it was hectic. My guys were having a lot of fun, screaming, shouting at each other.
Yeah, we heard that comms were a little crazy. I'd have to say, like, my favorite point was probably when the battle was going on at Not Research and watching you guys kind of have this massive infantry fight and trying to hold Not Research camp, and then like the base was flipping back and forth, but you guys were each trying to hold it down in so many different ways with all your maxes and trying to cover all the doors. And I thought that was really interesting. But were you expecting TRAF to kind of hit you over at Not Amp Station at all? Did you guys see that happening and you didn't really care at that moment? You were just trying to keep pushing at Not Research? And that goes more to EXE.
We really didn't care about the amp station by that point, because we kind of said, well, if they take the amp station, they're still going to win. So we would try to be aggressive with it, right?
We definitely felt that desperation on your guys' end. You guys started fighting very hard at the end there. It was like fighting different opponents, really.
Well, it was. I think it was really that by that point, people had gotten into the roles that they wanted and were a little bit more prepared. Was part of it.
Right. And at Not, we did great taking it and balancing, defending over at Geo while we tried to get people on point at Not Research. But then after we took it, I think things really broke down for us. I wanted that amp station. I just kind of wanted to push all the way to their home base, but there was a severe error in communication that I'm going to attribute to my own doing. And We were going to gate shield onto the point with
Yeah, I
all
saw.
units, but I am not. I think I gave a false order at some point. I'm still trying to piece together what happened, but we
Yeah, I was
ended up
wondering
getting
about that
scattered,
myself.
and our Sundays started going down. So I said, fall back and defend. We'll harass the amp station as much as we can, and I had my Alpha Squad managing to wreak havoc inside the amp station while the rest of our guys were back.
Yeah. Well, so that was another interesting thing that I noticed was I mean I'm assuming that you guys are probably a little bit more of an air uh, outfit because I kind of noticed, especially the second round when you pulled your air with your TR stuff, that you were quite good with it. Whereas with the infantry, when we made our coordinated pushes, we were generally able to push you out. But that was kind of the thing, was that those two bases there at the end, they both had inside points, and so we were able to fight over it. Whereas that the other one, I don't remember the names of them. The point is out in the open, and we just we weren't able to hold that with the air that you had.
See, we were trying something new, and I'm glad you brought this up. Our battle gals. I mean, I love my battle gal. I think my spirit animal is actually a whale now. But so I had it again. I mean, that was the first thing I asserted when I got on to my TR character, and I said, we're doing the battle gal this round. We're going to do it better than we did the first round. I think it worked out really well. You guys say hi to that pilot with the Mustang for me, because he spent literally a minute and a half just constantly pinging our galaxy while our Bulldog kept us safe at Geo. And
Yeah, that was Pink Void was the Mossy pilot.
major props to him, because he was at the complete right place, right time. Like that gal, losing that's our linchpin to the strategy. I mean, I love, by the way, thank you guys for the gal spawning, because that's the greatest thing to ever happen to this game.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
You can thank Higby for that personally.
I kind of felt that the Galaxy was the only way to get over to the next base fast enough to be able to take their point before they backcatch you.
Yeah, and then it doubles as a gunship once that happens, and the gunship is just so ludicrously powerful. You can tank flak, you can tank lock-ons for full minutes with fire suppression.
Yeah, they are pretty beefy.
And then we were trying out our new tactic, which is I gave someone else platoon lead, and they rotated me between squads. They moved me to Alpha Squad. Alpha Squad spawns in the gal, drops on point. They moved me to Charlie Squad. Charlie Squad drops in the gal, gets on point. Bravo, etc. And I think that went pretty well. We tried it in round 1, and you guys crushed us with maxes. But then trying it again the second time actually went very well, because we got a Sunday the moment we hit the ground, and that's how we got our maxes. So definitely looking forward to really experimenting with the gal in the future.
We definitely saw in round 2 that TRAF kind of brought it back with the air. I mean, for the first round, we were like, what's going on here? Like, you guys weren't using your Galaxy as much as we thought you would be using it. In the second round, we actually saw you guys pull some Liberators and pull some, sites. And obviously, at the beginning, we had that huge air fight that was fantastic to watch. But something that I did notice was that you guys didn't really box people in the spawn room. There were a few times where you were at bases and you kind of got overrun at like a 15-second point or 17-second point, but you were covering the point, but you guys weren't covering where they were spawning from.
I think so there was that one battle where they were coming out of the spawn room, but in a lot of the other instances, they could have a Galaxy or a Sunder at the base too.
Oh, this was
They
more
could
so
have, yeah.
Are you
geared
talking
towards
about round
TRAF.
1 where we lost?
EXE, you guys were
Frostfall?
great. You guys were actually using your Galaxy quite well to find all of TRAF's spawn points and dropping on them, which I thought was a fantastic strat. Just dropping on them, taking out the Sundays left and right. So that was more catered towards TRAF in question.
But I was just saying, like in terms of like the spawn room camping, we never felt that it would be advantageous to us. We thought that it'd be better on the point because they always had secondary spawns.
Yeah,
and
you guys
I'm glad
for
we
sure.
think the same way.
I meant
TRAF,
for
we
TRAF
do not camp
specifically.
spawn rooms. We lay off it as much as possible. I mean, I'll just say it's a bad strat. It's terrible. It leaves your cap open. That's just not the way we play. We're a little upset that we couldn't get any support units on Frostfall in round 1 to keep them from being able to lob explosives in on us. But
Yeah.
that was a
Well,
casualty.
and that was the other thing I thought was funny was when you guys were on the point, it was like everybody was on the point. So all we really had to do was throw a couple of missiles and anti-vehicle grenades in there to clear it out.
That was a
Whereas-
risk we ran, and I'm glad that you guys kind of took advantage of it, or else I would have felt a little bad.
I usually, and especially if it's like in a biolab, for instance, I mean, the best example is if you're in a biolab and you're sitting on the shield generator, then I send the other squad over to Alpha Point because they're far enough away that, you know, they're not going to get hit if you throw a rocket in there, but they're close enough that they can still throw revive grenades at you.
Right, and we don't use Sundays as spawn units. What we use them to get maxes. That's the entire purpose of Sundays for TRAF. So once we get to a base and we max up, that Sunday is dead to us. We don't need it. We're on point. We have our medics, and it's a risk, but it pays off in two ways.
You guys, your medics were
They had a lot
beasted
of
for
medics.
sure. We saw a lot of medic and NG action, and it was fantastic.
TRAF medics, that is like day one when we get a new guy coming to the outfit. He's like, what do I cert? I don't know what to do. Medic. You're going to go medic, you're going to get a bunch of certs, then you can do whatever you want at BR25. So that's what we got. And props, major shout out, TRAF, we operate some special units. We have a dedicated air unit, we have a dedicated armor unit, we have a dedicated air unit. So just quick shout out to them, TRT Havoc and Spectre Squad, because they specialize in what they do, and our TRT guys who are responsible for training their medics so damn well.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for the breakdown. Some good questions, Maggie. Thank you. It was good playing with you, or good watching, I should say. It sounds like your guys had fun. I love seeing them in the chat afterwards, saying that they had a great time. That makes me happy personally. So, thanks again to Derringer and Solaris, everybody. They were our casters tonight, so hats off to them. And I didn't really mention it much during the show, but the man that puts all this together, production side, his name is Antithesis. You haven't heard much from him tonight, but he is doing all this for you guys, production side. So, huge hats off to him. Thank you, sir. And with that being said, I'm gonna let you two go. We're gonna do a little post information really quick, even though it's preseason. But
Well,
thanks
let's
again for coming.
Do you want me to,
make sure
do you want me
they
to
can,
plug this outfit?
Yeah, make
like
sure
you
they
said
can
down
plug
there?
their outfits and stuff before they go.
Why don't you guys do it for me? I was gonna do it, but have at it. Let's start with EXE.
Yeah, so if you want to learn more about our outfit, our website is exeoutfit.com. And of course, we are a TR Connery outfit, and we're pretty big, so you can just get on that server and find somebody and get in. And you know, we can accommodate all kinds of play styles. So
Awesome. Now let's hear from TRAF.
TRAF, like I said, we are a TeamSpeak required outfit, so you have to have it. You don't need a mic, but you need TeamSpeak. There's our website and TeamSpeak info. I just posted it to you guys. I don't know if you want to throw it up on the screen or whatever. We accept pretty much anyone over the age of 15 and BR10, and we always are always ready to teach new people and turn them into fierce fighters.
Awesome to hear. All right, thanks, guys.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks a lot, guys, for doing all this hosting.
Let's do it for you guys.
thank you.
We know you do. That's why I'm thanking you.
All right. Well, thanks again, guys. I'll let you go, and we'll knock out the rest of our stuff.
All right. Good night, Higby.
I think he was talking to me.
I think he was talking to Slade. All right, everybody. If you want to contact Community Clash to check out new matches or to see if you can get your outfit involved, we do have the season starting soon, and most of the preseason games, at least for the U.S., are already set up. But if you're interested, we will be putting out posts for Season 2, and we also have kind of a casual thing we're looking at starting up as well for more casual suited outfits. We'll talk more about that later once we have that more refined. My name is Torx. If you want to contact me, I am at ReachCast Torx or at PS2 ComClash or at ReachCast. You can any of those Twitter accounts. I'll respond and do the best I can for you if your outfit's interested or if you want to help in some way. Otherwise, if you just want to say hi, you did a shitty job on your show, feel free to send that too. It's whatever you'd like to say. The show is at PS2 ComClash on Twitter, or it's at ps2comclash@gmail.com. So check us out there. Let's go down through the list. Maggie, why don't you give some contact info for you?
Sure, I'll be really quick. You guys can check me out at Perfect Storm, PURR, instead of like the normal way you spell perfect. I do a lot of things for PlanetSide 2 stuff since I'm the community manager. I also help out with other SOE products as well. And I do quite a few other shows on my side if you're into anime or other nerdy things and gaming. Check me out at margaretcrone.com.
All right, John, what about you? All right, Solarius?
I'm a member of Das Onfall. You can check us out at dasonfall.com. Just a competitive outfit on VS Matherson.
All right, and Mark, our Derringer, last but not least, why don't you tell us about you?
As you've been listening to me all this evening, I am Derringer at the Derringer on Twitter, also on ReachCast with Torx. And that's about it. Thanks for listening, everybody.
All right, from all of us to all of you, have a good week, and we'll see.